Welcome back to Be Seen. I'm Joe Dove, and I welcome you to the console room with your host, Ernesto.
Time Lords, Time Ladies, welcome to a very special episode. God, I've always wanted to say that. A very special episode of the console room.
Yes, in this particular iteration of the console room, we are looking at probably one of the best Peter Capaldi episodes. He is
Doctor Who?
Doctor Who? Doctor Who? Doctor Who?
Fellas, you're never going to stop asking.
Yes, he is Doctor Who in this iteration. He is the 12th Doctor, and I really enjoyed the heck out of him in this one. He's super sharp with his black long coat and his sonic shades on top of his really nifty sonic screwdriver. And he is in a town for Christmas, losing one of his friends, one of his former companions. And
this episode, he is actually, the town he's in is Mendarax Delora. It's a human colony. The time is Christmas Day, 5343. Now, this particular episode, and by the way, we should say, when you and I discussed doing a review of our favorite Christmas episodes, we both said the same episode. We both said this one in particular. Of course, we were talking about the husbands of River Song.
Yeah, it's on the other side.
The husbands, thank you. The husbands of River Song.
That's right. This is such a fun episode. You got a curmudgeon Doctor Who in the beginning. He's sad. A lot of things are slipped through him.
There's a reason for that.
Right,
when you look earlier in the season, Clara had just died.
Right.
Clara, he's still dealing with that loss. He's still dealing with everything that he went through with the Time Lords after Clara's death. It's there's a lot going on in the Doctor's head, and he just needed a break.
Yeah,
and inadvertently landed on this colony on Christmas Day, and of course, being the curmudgeon Scotsman that the 12th Doctor is, that Peter Capaldi is, carolers will be criticized.
Yes, absolutely. And I really liked his time as the Doctor. Some of his episodes were a bit wild. This one in particular, because we're dealing with a different type of villain in this, but has pieces that are kind of similar to the past. We have a new companion that shows up. A lot of fun in this episode. A lot of things being established for this Christmas episode, but we got the return of one of our favorites. Oh my goodness, and that is the lovely Miss River Song,
the
child of the TARDIS.
Yes, she is the breathtaking Alex Kingston, reprising her role as the daughter of Amy and Rory, conceived in the TARDIS, which explains why her aging is off. She has certain abilities. She can fly the TARDIS. She can regenerate. There's a lot about River Song that to this day we still don't know.
Now, was this the last time she was on screen as River Song?
Chronologically, yes.
Okay.
During the pandemic, my wife and I got this crazy idea to watch all of River Song's episodes, but from her perspective. Now, as everyone knows, the Doctor meets River in reverse, which is why the 10th Doctor, the first time we as the audience meet River Song is in a 10th Doctor episode, Silence in the Library.
Who turned out the lights? That's another great episode, by the way.
Oh, it absolutely is. But that was her, for want of a better word, death.
Yes. That's the end of the
And
book, her book.
and every single time we meet her after that, the Doctor knows very little about her, but she knows everything about him. So this is Stephen Moffat's writing at its most sadistic and most ingenious, to have these two characters in a romance, but going in the opposite direction.
Yeah, that was very fun, though. I really
It
appreciate it.
really, really is.
Yeah.
And like I said, to watch it from her perspective, you know, from where she begins, from her first iteration as Melody,
Mm.
Amy's best friend, and then regenerate into the mature River Song that we know, who is her sole purpose is to kill the Doctor. But you know what? I
That's a
think we're
different
getting
episode.
we're getting
Yeah, we're
way
getting
too
way off,
deep into this.
So in
So
this particular episode, this is set up as a sort of a heist. And
yes, it
and
absolutely is.
there's a diamond that they need to retrieve. Well, River needs to retrieve.
Well,
And
she's married to the diamond.
yes, she's married to the diamond. And the first time the Doctor meets River and actually they meet River and Nardo together.
Nardole.
We're introduced
Nardole. This whole episode happened because Nardole goofed.
Interesting.
Think about it. He went looking for the surgeon.
Oh yes, and the surgeon went. Yeah,
but he found the Doctor.
Yeah.
Now here's the other great Three's Company-esque twist of this episode. River does not know
who
that
the Doctor is.
The Doctor is her doctor.
Yeah.
There's kind of, sort of. There's even that one scene with Ramon, River's other husband, technically River's other husband.
Yeah.
He's got the wallet, pulls out with all the
all the faces. Oh, he's got all these faces. Yeah.
Right.
I like the little cameo of Tom Baker and Sylvester McCoy and even
all 12 of them. Yes. So if you want to read into this, which I do, River Song has interacted with each and every iteration of the Doctor. And
so that really makes you wonder if the other versions of the Doctor have run it, like Sylvester McCoy and Tom Baker.
According to her, according to this episode, obviously, because she has
they get the pictures of everybody. Yeah.
So they're absolutely. I believe it's Big Fish Productions.
Right, the audio.
They do audiobooks. There are a number of River Song adventures with other Doctors. Yeah, definitely something. I'm not sure of their availability here in the States, but I know they are widely available in the UK. You may have to get them on physical audio. They are not available on to stream. So you might have to if you're looking into those, you may have to get them as physical audio.
And you could probably, Big Finish, I know they're animating a few episodes, so it'd be interesting if they could do like animated versions of these episodes in the future.
Anything with more River Song, I'll take.
There for it. And so this is the first time we see the River in this episode. The Doctor walks down to go and assist the injured person, and we find out that it's really not an injured person, so to speak. It is a headless mechanoid known as the King, and we will get into him later. But as we mentioned Nardog, let's talk more about the companion in this episode.
See, I met this person and I got whooshed away across all space and time. I had the most amazing adventures, really. You wait till you hear, because I'm going to tell you them all.
Yes, the companion in this episode is Nardal, and he is an interesting sort because, unlike a lot of other companions, he doesn't really. He's like a comedic relief.
He is absolutely comic relief.
Yeah.
When you look at him in that, doesn't he kind of remind you of Cartman from South Park?
God,
God damn it, Doctor!
yeah.
Ski deck and getting him.
Yeah, exactly.
It just dawned on me rewatching this today. I'm like, who does Nardo remind me of? Especially when he's all like, just being annoying. Like, my God, it's Cartman.
Yeah.
But there are a couple of other smaller. I hesitate to call them companions, but they were in the episode as well. Ramon, the other husband of River Song.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end, we also briefly meet Alphonse. Alphonse is the rescue worker that the doctor runs into and says, it would be a great idea, restaurant.
Oh, yes, at the end.
So if it wasn't for Alphonse, there would be no restaurant at the Singing Towers of Darillium.
Which was a cool looking spot. Do you know the song that they played at the end?
I didn't recognize it. I always assumed that it was an original piece.
Oh, it probably was. I just was figuring, it's probably Enya, because that sounds like Enya.
It was definitely Enya-esque.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe with a little enigma thrown in.
Yeah. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
The last night of delirium.
Yeah. We'll get into the Doctor and River's last night. Yes,
that's a very cool way to do that. But yeah, so I would also beg to say that River is almost a companion.
Well, River, this is a very interesting episode. The Doctor is almost a secondary character to River.
Yeah, this is mainly her adventure, and he's kind of just hanging out.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like I said, that whole Three's Company-esque miscommunication of her not recognizing him leads to probably the best delivered line, my second favorite delivered line of the episode, when Capaldi just looks at her, she walks away and goes, in frustration, uses modern vernacular and says, "Seriously?" But with that amazing Scottish accent of his, it just the frustration on his face is absolutely hysterical and just laughs galore.
Yeah. And I just love the play that they had of like him going in the TARDIS for the first time and then going,
yes.
I gotta warn you, because she doesn't realize who he is. She's like, I gotta warn you because it's gonna be a little bit more than you can handle. And he goes, oh my God, it's so much bigger on the inside. Like, he just really played into it.
My entire understanding of space-time's changed forever. And then just looks right into the camera and goes, "Sorry, I've always wanted to see that done correctly." Centuries of idiots. It's bigger on the inside. And finally, this is the way it should be done. Perfect. Yeah. Just a perfect performance by Peter Capaldi, just start to finish.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Alex Kingston is just amazing when she's giving that speech. Oh, the Doctor would be here for me. He's all around the world, saving planets, saving people. He doesn't care. Would you expect the sun? He doesn't love me. That's what it was. Would you expect the sun to look back at you and give you a compliment? Like, such a great speech on her part. The writing on this was so good.
Again, Stephen Moffat, credit to Stephen Moffat. Credit where it's due. Stephen Moffat just wrote the hell out of this episode. For this to be basically River's swan song, at least on camera for now.
Right.
I couldn't imagine a better way to say goodbye to Alex Kingston. If I absolutely have to say goodbye to her, this is the best way to do it. And this particular speech, you wouldn't expect the stars to love you back. And wherever he is, he's doing whatever the hell he wants. And go ahead, scan the ship. 2 hearts, stupid clothes, and he's River.
Yeah, he kept trying to chill out. Oh,
and she so just she sees him out of the corner of her eye, and she's talking to what is that character's name? She's we'll get into them in Enemies, but she's talking to Fleming and Scratch,
right,
and going off. He's doing whatever the hell he wants, and he wouldn't be here, and he's certainly not in love enough to
stop what he's doing and come find me. And then, he was there,
and then it dawns on her.
Yeah,
and 12 just looks at her and uses her own words against her.
Yeah, I absolutely love the I absolutely love the way that their emotional states are. Like, she is so deep into this part that it seems like the two of them almost broke down and cried. Each of them, I just felt like there was a little bit of a touch. It's such a touching moment, and I felt like either one of them could have at any moment
I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of flack over this. So I'm going to come right out and say,
if you don't agree with him.
Oh, no. It's you know what? I want to turn this into that meme of, fight me on this.
Yeah.
In my opinion, in this one episode, 12 had more chemistry with River Song than every single appearance that she had with 11.
Yeah. Or 10.
Or 10. Come on, fight me on this. I will die on this hill. As far as I'm concerned, they had more chemistry in this one episode. And I'm not taking anything away from Matt. In fact, when we were discussing this, I brought up another phenomenal Matt Christmas episode that we wanted to do, but both of us loving this episode so much, we just had to do this.
Yeah, it really, really a great episode. And another fantastic thing about Nardo is he ends up in the body of the villain. In this, he somehow ends up as a miscreant by mistake. He inadvertently stumbles his way in such a comic relief fashion, stumbles his way into danger in a mysterious way that ends up beheading and becoming a villain not technically a villain, but a vessel, so to speak.
That's one of the yet another amazing and fascinating facet of this story. The enemy, or the big bad of this particular episode, is kind of inconsequential.
Well, let's
explore that.
Yeah.
I shall now kill you, Doctor.
Yes, the enemy is a big king, but he's like a mechaloid.
His enormousness, King Hydroflax,
the Ayatollah of rock and roll, Lord Hydroflax.
Lord Hydroflax. It's obviously he. We're given a little bit of his backstory by River. But again, he's kind of inconsequential.
Yeah.
You know, if you needed to have someone for them to be arguing with, you need to have an antagonist in the story.
But how cool
The
is it that
highlight
his chest lit up and started talking on its own? I thought that was really cool. And he's basically like, do you ever see The Adventures of Baron Munchausen?
Yes, years ago. I haven't seen it in a while. It was a Terry Gilliam movie, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it was a Terry Gilliam movie. And this just reminded me of Robin Williams' character. I found you, buddy. You know, like it just reminded me of The Adventures of Baron Munchausen. And of course, this is the title of them dealing with it. And you know, from the cover of this, because I actually forgot I own the DVD. And I just want to take a moment to let ladies and gentlemen know that you should absolutely buy physical media. With streaming service wars coming to a crescendo, we've got a lot of mergers possibly happening. There is rumor that Paramount and oh boy, or Star Trek might be bought out by either Microsoft or Warner Brothers, and we all know how terrible they manage things.
Well, before after we finish this wrap up, I did want to discuss something that's dropping on Netflix on Christmas Day. So we're gonna have a lot of We're gonna have a lot of TV time on Christmas Day.
That's right.
But getting back to King Hydroflax, the escape when Ramon transmats them away and he didn't get the height right, and they land in the snowbank, and all you hear is the muffled voice of Hydroflex screaming threats at them, and the doctor just starts laughing.
Yes.
And she's like, this is not a laughing matter. We're being threatened by a bag.
Yeah.
It also reminded me of a not so great Joe Pesci film called 12 Heads. Oh, yeah, was it 3 heads in a duffel bag, something like that?
I thought it was 8 heads.
Could have been 12 for all, depending on the size of the head in the duffel bag. If it's not a checked bag, it could be as many as
8 heads in a duffel bag.
8 heads in a duffel bag. Thank you,
Chrissy Swanson. Yeah.
Just terrible movie, but great title.
Yeah.
I mean,
it had its moments.
Yeah,
it's like no Doctor Who.
No, it's no Hydroflex. It's no Hydroflex in an Under Armour. Definitely not.
No.
And we are not sponsored.
How was that design though?
The design was fantastic.
Yeah.
The increased budget and special effects, obviously all CGI.
Yeah. But I tell you, it looked almost like Ironmonger.
It really did.
Yeah,
it really did.
It had elements of it that just kind of suited it so well. I really enjoyed the villain. He was very over the top.
Over the top.
And that's a classic way to do a floating head villain. You just put it cut the table open and let him stick his head out. So the actor would probably get to spend most of his time. I mean, I'm sure it wasn't pleasant, but he got to spend most of his time under a desk or something like that. I'm sure.
We're also forgetting about the other two major villains in this. The maitre d' Fleming,
Yes.
the fish looking dude who rats out River Song to the to the buyer of the diamond, Scratch, and him and his cronies have that the pull apart head.
That was so cool and disturbing at the same time.
It absolutely was. To the best of they only appeared in one other episode. In fact, the next Peter Capaldi Christmas episode, The Return of Dr. Mysterio.
Yes.
They only appeared in these two, and again, folks, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, or hit us up on all the socials at the Console Room Podcast. I don't think that they ever mentioned the name of that species.
Oh, interesting.
I'm not sure. I could be wrong. Kind of did this. Didn't really do enough research on it before the show, so my bad. But I don't think that they mentioned the name of the species. Again, folks, fans, let us know if I am wrong on that.
Mm.
So there was a lot of head jokes, a lot of head gags.
The shawl.
Okay. So thank you. You see, this is what happens if I was just dumb and a real blonde. I'd be a real dumb blonde.
And while you got the name of the shawl, so we do have our parts. Be sure to subscribe and be sure to ring the bell. That way you're notified of when our episodes drop. We are doing this episode particularly after Christmas because, well, it was Christmas. We're not going to hang out during Christmas. We have families.
Mm-hmm.
You got a cute little young boy that you're going to go and give him all the gifts. He's getting that PlayStation 5, right? No,
he's got a better iPad than I do.
Oh yeah, usually that's how it goes. But yeah, the villain was so fun, and these aliens, the shawl, it was interesting to find, like, they try to get away from the king. They go upstairs and they try to make the deal with the diamond, and then you come to find out everybody's sitting eating, and you're thinking, okay, this random dude is coming, and that's gross. He's going in his head and picking up the bank piece, and that little ball has all the bank information for the galaxy, which is like $1 trillion or whatever. And then when the king comes, he starts giving his spiel about, oh yes, we are the greatest allegiance to the ultimate king. And then everybody in Doctor Who is just like, uh-oh. And she's like, yeah, it's in the bag. We're good. He's like, no, you can't get it because the king is in his head. And it was comedically brilliant. I thought that was so interesting to bring that level of comedy into Doctor Who that we hadn't seen in a long time. It gotten very heavy at the end of the previous season leading up to this Christmas episode. So
you really
a lot of that humor.
You really needed it, considering everything that happened, considering everything that the 12th Doctor went through that season. We needed this release, for want of a better word.
Yeah.
At Christmas, we needed a good laugh. We needed to see the Doctor smile. Yeah. And Peter Capaldi has such an amazing smile.
Yeah, he does.
And we did not see that enough, especially in that season. And to see his face light up when he sees the breathtaking Alex Kingston as River Song. River!
Yeah,
look at that. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Look at the chemistry between the two of those. Between the two of them.
Yeah.
I'll check, but I don't think Alex Kingston smiled that big at any point with Matt Smith.
You think it's because the two of these actors are closer in age? I think he's still much older than she is, but because Matt Smith was like in his 20s, I think, when he did it. Because he's officially the youngest Doctor, right?
Yes. He took the title of youngest Doctor away from Peter Davison.
Yes.
I don't remember how old he was when he started. It might have been 26. I'm not sure if it was an age thing or if it was just the compatibility, maybe a comfort level. Maybe I'm not sure if they worked together in the past. Possibility, but then again, we know from our own interactions in life with people, we could have a lot in common with someone and just not get along.
Yeah, that's true.
Some people just get along better than others for whatever reason. And or we can go one further, or they're just both that professional, that higher level of thespian.
Yeah.
Either way, the two of them together are just absolutely amazing. As much as I would love to see more of Peter Capaldi and Alex Kingston together, I'd love to see them doing anything, but to see these two characters, I would love to have seen the entirety of their night on Beryllium.
Oh, that would have been so cool.
True. I would have no problem spending 24 years.
Because there's an adventure that happened there.
Was it really an adventure, or was it just them having a lifetime in one night?
Could be.
They're finally at a point where they're on the same page.
Yeah.
They're on the same page of the diary. All of her memories of the Doctor are now his memories. So they're finally and maybe that's why their chemistry is so good, because they're no longer living in each other's past or future. They're finally both living in the present. They're both living for the moments. And their love for, and the Doctor proves that yes, he does love her as much as
she does love him.
And
then some. And just so you're aware, the youngest person to ever play the Doctor is Matt Smith at 26.
26.
Yeah.
Perfect.
3 years younger than Peter Davidson. And I keep wanting to say, I'm thinking of the guy from Saturday Night Live. Every time I hear Peter Davidson, I'm like, what?
Pete Davidson, yes.
Yeah. I'm like, no, not him. They didn't cast him as Doctor Who, I hope.
There has got to be a nerd, someone, if you love me and you want to give me a Christmas present, Photoshop Pete Davidson onto the Fifth Doctor.
There you go.
Please, and post that. Post that on our socials. Post that on our TikTok. That would be the best Christmas present that you could give. That you can give this person. That you can give to me. Thank you.
So we got a happy ending. We had a very interesting villain, and we have a new companion for the 12th Doctor, as well as our final, as you said it so eloquently, swan song for River Song. This had everything that you would expect in a Doctor Who episode. You had a little bit of mystery. You had a lot of science fiction. He used a cable that teleported her off the ship and into the TARDIS, and she grabbed the TARDIS, went back into the ship and grabbed him. And
they're bickering.
Yes.
It's the stereotypical old married couple.
Yeah,
they're bickering. There's that adorable jealousy on each of their parts, and River brings up Eleven's fling with Cleopatra.
Yes.
One
of the Elizabethan queens.
Mm-hmm. 10 was married to to Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah.
First. No, I'm sorry. Wait, was it? No, was it? No, it wasn't Victoria.
No,
was it Victoria? I think it was one of those. Folks, yeah, let us know. But the one that the Doctor brings up that struck me funny was Stephen Fry.
Yes,
Stephen Fry.
Yeah.
That was personally, I would have, if that were me, I would have loved to have, pictured Richard Dawkins. Because two professors, one of archaeology, one of Darwinism. But Stephen Fry was definitely the better choice for comedy factor.
I wonder if he ever auditioned for Doctor Who.
I'm not sure if he auditioned. I'm sure
he would have been a lot of fun.
Yeah. They said the same thing about his name escapes me at the moment. David Tennant's co-star in Good Omens.
Yeah. Martin.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna have to look this up now. and just waste time. So just talk amongst yourselves. And right now,
wow. So Stephen Fry was selected to play the Doctor following a successful audition for the role, taking over for Richard Griffiths in 1996.
So Stephen Fry was slated to be the Doctor, and I guess that fell through. Michael Sheen.
Michael Sheen, yes.
Is
totally different guy.
yeah, Martin. Yeah,
he
the
would
big
have been a
difference.
good Doctor too, man, because
He definitely would have. And
very quirky.
yeah, and the chemistry between him and David Tennant is just absolutely amazing. I'm sure all of our fans have seen Good Omens seasons 1 and 2.
Are they doing a
great
third
show?
or no?
They are greenlit.
Oh, good.
They are greenlit. Neil Gaiman is again, we could do a whole podcast on this as well, but Terry Pratchett passed away before he could finish Good Omens 2. So everything that Neil wrote for the second season of Good Omens is based on material that both Neil and Terry Pratchett had discussed.
Oh, nice.
So it's all in keeping with their ideas.
Cool. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It absolutely will be.
Season. And we've got our new Doctor Who coming to us in his first full episode. The church on Ruby Lane or something like that?
I'm not sure of the name of the. Did they drop the name? Did they even drop the name of the episode? Okay,
yes, they did.
Okay. You know what?
Church on Ruby Road. That's the
Church on Ruby Road.
Yes.
That's which drops Christmas Day.
Yes.
So that's gonna be our first full episode for Ncuti Gatwa, and the previews look fantastic. He looks amazing.
Yeah.
And
I like his suit. I like his sonic screwdriver.
The Sonic is amazing.
It's very cool. And he has, I believe I want to say it's Nigerian. I know it's an African proverb.
I believe it is Nigerian.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there is a chance that I could be related to Doctor Who. That would be amazing. But highly unlikely. But you never know. You never know.
Now is a good time to get your DNA tested.
Yeah, I've already done that, so I'm just gonna hope that he pulls in his DNA. What's up, cuz? I'm the doctor now. No,
I love you. Get out.
Yeah, exactly. Nice, cuz. Leave. This has been a fantastic fray into one of the best Christmas episodes that we both agreed on. But tell us in the comments below, what was your favorite Doctor Who episode? Was it one of the David Tennant ones? Was it a Matt Smith? Was it this one? Was this your favorite? Let us know.
This particular episode aired on the 25th December 2015, and this is the 11th Christmas special since the show's revival in 2005. During the Chibnall era, with Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor. Yeah, they did New Year's for some reason. It is what it is. But with the return of Russell T Davies, we are back at Christmas. We are back to the Christmas specials, and the Church on Ruby Road will be dropping December 25th, and we will be going deep into this episode. So
be sure to join us Wednesday, a special day because it's Christmas after all. And that episode will drop on Wednesday. So
before we wrap this up, Joe, speaking of watching on Christmas and you brought up the importance of physical media earlier. Yes. That was really evident when Prodigy was taken off their service of Paramount Plus.
Right.
Now, on yet another thing to drop on Christmas Day, another present, Netflix has picked up Star Trek Prodigy.
Yes.
From what I understand, the first couple of weeks of streaming on a service are really important for the success of any particular show on that streaming service. So I know a few other podcasts, ones that you and I are personally friends with, are really trying to get
the one I co-host.
I'm not.
I think all of them are doing.
I think every Star Trek podcast is really pushing for the fans to watch as much as possible of Star Trek Prodigy within the first couple of weeks. And you know what? I want the console room to join and wave our banners high that we support Star Trek Prodigy, we support it on Netflix, and we also support buying physical media. It's very important that if there's something that you really, really enjoy, a lot of people stop buying physical media with the ease of streaming. Oh, where am I going to put all my CDs and all that? You know what? It's if you've ever bought something on whatever platform, whether it be iTunes or Amazon Prime, if you've ever purchased a show or movie and for some reason they lose the licensing of it, you no longer own it. I purchased, we've talked about this movie. It was a BBC made for TV movie called Adventures in Space and Time, with David Bradley's first appearance as the Doctor.
Right.
I purchased that on iTunes, and for some reason, Apple lost the rights to it. I no longer, even though I paid my hard-earned money for that, I no longer have access to it.
The digital age means you lose physical ownership. Just because you have I used to be a band called I'm also the co-host of the Dis Dungeon Music Podcast. If I didn't have enough to do, not as frequent, but we should be having some episodes in the next year in 2024.
I'm looking forward to it.
It's a lot of fun.
We have some great music coming out next year.
Yeah. And one of the things that drove me mad in the beginning of that podcast was Spotify launch. And I was like, no way, I need my physical copy, because when I had an iPod, I got hit in a really bad way in a snowstorm. And I was walking, but snow was just filling in my pockets. I used to, at the time I worked up in White Plains. I don't know if you know where that is, but White Plains, New York.
I know White Plains, yes.
I don't know. And
I'm only across the river in New York.
New York's a huge place. It's got huge tracts of land. No. So the snow had piled up in my coat, and I didn't realize it. And all of a sudden, my music stopped, and it turns out the water had melted. The ice had melted into my iPod as water destroyed it. And then they stopped making iPods right after that. So I lost some of my favorite bands, like Faithless and such, that I had gotten from somebody in Asia. So it was like almost impossible to get the exact copy. So it took me years and years to get that. And then my buddy was like, my co-host Julian, hopefully you're doing well. He had a bit of a tumble this week.
I heard. All the best, pal.
Yeah. But he said you should just get Spotify because you have all the music at your fingertips. And then what happened? Neil Young, whom I also like to listen to his music, pulled all his stuff off of Spotify. Now I can't listen to Neil Young because I gave those CDs away. So make sure you buy your physical media, make space. There's always space. It's all about space and time mechanics. We can always fit things into where they shouldn't be. I don't know if that's age appropriate.
Another band that just flat out refuses to put their music. Actually, I'm sorry, I take that back. They just recently agreed to stream, but for the longest time, Tool. I don't know. Yeah, Tool was not on any streaming platform.
Favorite songs by them.
That's a great song.
Yeah, it's such a good
song. That is an awesome song. That whole Anima album is phenomenal. But yeah, for the longest time, Maynard would not give rights to Spotify, Apple Music,
Pandora,
Amazon, Pandora, any of them.
yeah.
He was of the impression, like we were saying, buy physical media, because that way no one can take it from you.
Yep.
So folks, definitely go out there.
Yes. So on that note, Ernesto, I wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas. I hope you guys have a
Joe,
lot of
to
fun.
you, your lovely family, and
of course the dog.
I was
The tyrannical tyrant owner of mine, Teddy.
little Teddy. But I would love for Missy and Teddy to one day play with each other.
Yeah.
But I'd be afraid of the outcome.
Yeah.
Missy's a little bit larger, and she doesn't understand. Little dog, fragile.
Yeah. Yeah. Or the way Teddy is, he'll just make her his new minion, because you never know Teddy.
That's a possibility.
Yeah. All right. So for everybody here at the console room, we wish you all the best, and we will see you next week.
Hello, sweetie.